Hey everybody, how's it going? Jamie McDonald back here with Mike Beaning again for episode number 12 of Mirrorless Minutes. This week's going to be just our typical format. We're going to go over a little bit of news that's, photography related, obviously. We're going to talk about what we've been up to, what we've got planned. We might throw out a little image share here and there, and we're just going to kind of keep it loose and fun tonight. So just want to say welcome back, Mike. How you been?
Yeah, been good, been good. How about you? It's not much snow, which is interesting this compared to last year.
Yeah.
I had to go home today and shovel 1 inch. I'm thinking, boy, this is fantastic.
Yeah, can
You know,
actually get out and shoot and not feel like I have to wear like 5 layers of
absolutely.
clothes in order to do it.
Yeah, definitely. On Sunday we were out shooting. It was 30 degrees and it was felt balmy compared to what it has been.
I'm
So
hoping to see some photos from that. Is that something that you're
yeah,
going to share tonight?
I do have a couple photos from that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was fun. We had some people out from your area there.
Yeah.
Seth come by and he had a lot of. I think he kept saying, "I'm here. I'm here. I don't know where I'm at. I'm in Detroit, driving around. I'm in parking lot number 2." I said, "I don't even know where number 1's at." So
Right.
you want to know where he was at, but it's
Awesome.
he's a good spirit. He'll laugh at that.
Cool.
But
So
well, go ahead. You wanna start tonight?
sure.
All right.
So I mean, I don't have a whole lot to talk about
Mm-hmm.
as far as like things in the news. I just kind of wanted to bring up, for me, this time of year it's tough to shoot here in Michigan. You've got the skies are so overcast, the light is flat. There's no definition in anything, and it's just for me. I think a lot of times the winter months are where I start to seek out sources of inspiration, and I stumbled upon this photographer. I think a year ago. Um, Her name is Camille Seaman, and I will post a link in the comment section, or the info section on the YouTube page for this video. But I just wanted to mention her site because she has these photo projects that she's been doing, and one of them is on, well, okay, there's two that really appeal to me. One is she's got this huge thing on clouds, and I don't know if anybody follows anything that I do, but I kind of have this cloud fetish, as weird as it sounds. But
It's
and
not too
and
weird, Jamie. I'm sorry, but there's one above your head.
right.
But go ahead.
And
It's right behind you.
yeah, she
Hmm.
and her work is just phenomenal. But she's got a series on icebergs as well, and I've never been any place where you can see ice like this. I've never been to Alaska or Iceland or anywhere like that where the ice is just that incredible. It doesn't even look real blue, and it looks like just frozen glass, and it's just phenomenal. But I just really wanted to I wanted to throw her name out there, and again, I'll link to her website in the show notes, because you owe it to yourself to just go check out her work. And it doesn't matter. I don't know what she shoots with. It doesn't even matter to me, because she is just pure inspiration for me. And I just kind of wanted to share that, and again, just kind of maybe that's like a little tip, for when you get into these months where it's just dark and dreary and it's hard to just get out and shoot, and you don't know what to shoot when it's like this. I take advantage of the internet, and I start seeking out sources of inspiration, and this woman just happens to be one of those for me lately. So
That's
just wanted to
cool.
share that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'll tell you, I'll bounce right into that, into some inspiration. And last week it was announced that Robert Frank is just an amazing photographer, filmmaker. That He's got a famous book out called The Americans. It's a street shooter, for
Hmm.
those of you that may not know. But his work's now online, and I'm talking about every piece of work he almost owns. I think it's somewhere near 80,000 different images and slides and contact sheets. Just amazing. They've chronicled all of this onto digital format. And the books, the book Americans is just an amazing, from probably the late 50s into some of the 60s, where he would just travel across all the United States and photograph people and what it was like in those times. And now to have this stuff online, I can honestly tell you, since they put this out there, I know I put it out on my website right away, and shared it. But I think every day at lunch I've been going through all his stuff. taking time while I'm sitting there eating lunch, just going through some of the amazing photographs. And you look at it like you said, it's to get inspired, to be inspired. I mean, it's simple as that.
Do you know what the story is behind those works being made public like that? Is that how does that come about? Because I know with most artists, it's kind of hard to find
I know.
a little bit of their work, much less such a big volume of their work available
Yeah.
online like that. Is it something where is it being? Do you know if it's being curated by a gallery? Are
It's
they doing
yeah,
this
this
or?
national that National Gallery of Art
Okay.
is the one that's doing it. But I almost wonder what's come about to get that to happen,
Right.
because where's it been?
It's kind
Um,
of unprecedented in a way.
right,
I mean,
that they've done that. Yeah, from 1937 to 2005, I just pulled it up online there. I had some serious amount of work, and just some amazing stuff, and it goes from all over the world too: Switzerland, Peru, Europe, and of course all the American things he did. So, whether you're industry photography or even if you aren't, it's great documentary photography to see what the world was like, and it's real exciting. So, but I was looking at your cloud picture there, and it sort of made me think of that next thing you wanted to talk about. You've had a little fun lately doing your presets.
yeah. So actually, I kind of took a cue from you. You released a set of presets, and it was something that I thought about it on and off for a while, and then you did it, and I thought, man, I think Mike's right. These are the kinds of things that you want to share out there, and
Mhm.
it for me, honestly, it's an extra source of revenue, which kind of makes it easier for me to. It sounds crazy, but it makes it easier for me to budget time to make more presets and make those
Mhm.
available if there's a little bit of incentive behind it, I guess. I do give away a lot of free presets, though, to people who have
Mhm.
bought them. But if you swing over to my website, jmacdonaldphoto.com, across the navigation menu at the top, you'll see a section for my Lightroom presets. And I've got 2 packs out there now, and I was lucky enough to have the monochromatic magic preset pack featured on the Full Blogger website, which was pretty interesting to wake up one morning and have an email inbox just full of orders, and I'm like, holy cow, what drove that? It was insane, and what was cool, is the feedback that I got from people who purchased it and started putting the presets to work, and everybody was floored by it. Said, well, do you have more? Do you have anything else you're going to release? I love these, and I thought, well, actually, I do. I've got a couple of packs that I have in Lightroom, that I've built that I just use for myself, and I thought, okay, if people like them, I'm gonna start putting them out there. So if you
Yeah,
get
it's
a
a lot of fun.
if you get a minute, swing over to my website and check them out. You can preview what each one of the presets does, and I kind of have been. I'm not a film shooter. I didn't grow up in that genre, or that era, or whatever, So I always tell people I feel like I missed out by not having been a part of that. So I spent a lot of time online and in photo albums here looking at photos, trying to emulate that look, and I think I did a decent job of bringing out that look in a lot of the presets. So again, if you get a minute, check them out.
Yeah, well, I tell you where they look cool is I think it was skies. You
Mm.
know, they really look pretty sharp. The pictures you use for your examples are it's a nice sky look to it.
I put
So.
I put a lot of thought into what pictures were going to be used
Mhm.
for the presets. I think that helps, and that's another thing that people keep in mind too. Is that presets look different in different settings, so that's why it helps to just kind of jockey through them all and see what they do.
Right, exactly. No, that's pretty sharp. I'll tell you. Let's see. I think I'll talk one more thing, and that's we were going to talk. I'll probably just talk about the free workshop I've got coming up this Sunday. It's at the Detroit Auto Show. I opened up my website at the beginning of this year, and I said, I want to do some kind of workshop real quick for free, get some people out there, do some street photography inside the auto show, because nobody wants to walk around when it's 10 degrees outside.
Right.
So it will be fun, but I'm trying to make it even a little bit more fun. And we're going to do a scavenger hunt. I have 20 items that people have to try to find or locate. Not necessarily items, but different shots. It's a shot list. you
Yeah,
know,
that'll definitely be cool at the auto show for sure.
yeah, bright yellow car with somebody wearing green near it, all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
holy cow, yeah, cool.
And and our next show I'll talk about. I don't want to give away my bonus one because I want to wait till Sunday morning because I've really been waiting for it to see if people, and if we get them, I'll throw them on my share for our next show. We'll see if anybody can find the bonus one because I've got a few people I think that will be bold enough. You have to be bold to do it. So we'll
Yeah,
see what happens. You have to, and I'll give you some insight after the show.
super cool.
um, but yeah. So you want to do some sharing? Let's see what's going on. What you've got?
Sure. Do you want to start off with me?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, let me fire that up here. All right. There we go. All right, so the first image that you can see on here, this is like a twofer, I guess I'm sharing here. The image is the first in a series that I'm doing. I felt like I needed a project, so I'm taking on this project where I'm going to try to photograph people who work the third shift. It generally takes a different kind of person, I think, to work third shift, being up all night, opposite of what I would consider natural for people. So you always seem to meet interesting characters, and this gentleman right here actually is going to be retiring soon, so I was lucky to be able to photograph him before he did retire. And this shot was also, it was processed with my newest preset pack. It's like going for the vintage feel here.
Mm-hmm.
The next shot, nope. Oh goodness grief! There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I'm clicking on my Google Hangouts window. I'm like, it's not moving. So this next shot was taken here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I went to a concert with a few other couples, and when the concert got out, I wanted to stop by this alleyway that Ann Arbor's kind of famous for because it's covered in all kinds of cool graffiti. And I was thinking to myself the whole time we're standing there that the theater has to be somewhere like intersecting with this alley somehow. And sure enough, we're standing there and I'm taking some photos of the wall, and around the corner comes one of the band members in his tuxedo, and I thought, I like the juxtaposition. Like, it's just so crazy. You've got this clean cut, black tie affair guy in this graffiti covered alley. So I gave it my best shot at doing some street photography, and when I captured that, and again, that was one that was just kind of processed with my presets. And this is one of the people that I actually went to this concert with. He's a good friend of mine that I've known pretty much my whole life. He's retired from the military, and I wanted to give him a good portrait. I don't think he's had like a quote-unquote proper portrait, and I just kind of liked the way the light was in the alley and gave it my best shot at giving something kind of like a little bit of a drama to it with the perspective there. And again, another one from the alley. I'm kind of hung up on that alley the whole time we were there, and this is a picture of my wife freezing watching me take a picture down the alley. Again, processed with those same presets. And one more, I had to fire a black and white when we were in the concert, and this was taken from the balcony in the Michigan Theater in Ann Arbor, and I'm pretty far away from this band, and I chose to use the 75mm f1.8, and of course this is wide open so I could get as much light as I can, but this is straight out of camera at like ISO, I think it's 1600, and I know that's probably not going to translate well through like over a shared screen like this, but this thing is perfect. I mean, I honestly would have a hard time telling the difference between this and like a 200 or a 400 ISO shot. I spot metered this, so there'll be a few, people in here whose heads are probably a little blown out as far as highlights are concerned, but overall I think the exposure worked out pretty good, and for ISO 1600, holy cow, it was like super clean. So, again, great concert photo. Lens, I think, is the 75mm f1.8. And that's just kind of all I've been up to as far as shooting for like the past few days.
All right. That shot. Well, that came out on my screen extremely clear.
Did it? Okay, good.
Yeah, that was going to be my question: is what the heck lens? But that makes sense. I mean, that thing is right on. The details. You could just see details so well in that shot. I like the one of your wife freezing. I think I got about 10 of my wife freezing while I'm taking shots too.
Yeah, the stuff they put up with for us.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if I can. All right, do you see the sculpture up there?
Yes, I do.
Okay, okay, good, good. That means it's working. So yeah, we were out this weekend. I needed to get out. I don't think I touched the camera between all the stuff I had going to work and just some other requirements at home for probably about 10 days, and I was getting real itchy to get back out there. So I just threw out a thing to a bunch of people. I said, "You want to go meet me down, downtown at this place?" And we had about I don't know, about 8 to 10 people show up, which was really cool. And it was the launch day of the auto show here in Detroit. And on that first day, actually, I'll tell you, for the weekend, they put through 235,000 people in the auto show, 235,000 visitors for the first 2 days. So as you can tell, it was a packed house, and these were all areas around that. But this is inside the People Mover. So it's just some of the sculptures and some of the artwork that they have inside the People Mover, to obviously the rail system to get around Detroit. And just a sharp picture. I like the clarity, and I'm sitting there thinking, boy, this looks really clear. It must have been with something, a nice fisheye or something. But as you know, I am always have it in my pocket. It's the 9mm body cap fisheye. Just it's a great lens. I mean, the clarity with it, if you get let enough light in, you can really do some amazing things with that lens.
Probably one of the most underrated things you can get for
Yeah,
like under $100.
I know. I just think, it's like anybody I talked to that day that had Olympus or Panasonic, I said, you just got to have this lens. You've got to put it in your pocket. You never know when you just pull it out. So I turned around right from that. Right on the opposite side of that is this tunnel. It leads, across the tunnel. So of course, tunnel is the greatest place to work on your silhouettes usually, and like I wanted to here. And then obviously it just made it extremely dark and a little moody. But it was a real ugly day outside, sort of cloudy. But that lent itself, and then these trailing lights up above were pretty cool. So that dark, moody feel. Same thing with that body cap lens. Switched over to it only took two lenses that day, the 17mm 1.8 and this both with my EM10. And this is actually the People Mover. As people are coming in to get off for the auto show or one of the stops, and trying to do my best Thomas Luthor impersonation here, where he's always looking straight into people's eyes and gets their reactions and moves on. So I just stood right in front of the door and waited until people were staring at me and snapped a picture. And it's just one of those shots that made eye contact, and I moved on and never saw the guy again. But as we were getting ready to leave, left that 17mm on, and I said, I can't be on top of a rooftop because that's where we parked, and not use my art filters. So switching it over to the art filters part of the EM1, and just quick snapshot of a part of the city, and just loved how this one came out so clear on the bottom, with that heavy cloud cover up above. It just really looked pretty sharp, I thought. And and that was just a quick snapshot. That was before I just jumped in my car. And just really nice. I mean, if you look real quick, you can pick out the flag.
Yeah.
In there, the clarity of the flag. And remember, this is a JPEG out of camera for the art filter.
Yeah.
So I mean, I haven't done anything. It's not processed other than brought in and brought back out. And then today, so those are 4 shots, but I've got to feature a 5th shot from. We'll call him Sethington. Seth is one of the guys out near Jamie's side there, out living in Jackson, Michigan, and I know he really loves street shooting, and he came out with us. And Detroit's a great area, obviously, to pick up some street shooting. And I was doing some things. That's my hand there. And he just hit that shot, and he put it out and called it the shooter. And I said, man, I just love that shot, because it just talks about everything that I like doing and how easy it is to work with the Olympus. I mean, I don't need the thing to my eye. I can see everything I need to see. Trying to get some of this, trying to get the structure. That's actually the Rensen shooting up in the air over all that grid work. and we were working on trying to get that. And you can actually see it in the EVF there on the back of the camera. But I just thought it was the coolest picture, and then he titled it "The Shooter." So, so I want to feature Seth today. I thought he did a great job, and I know he was really into it that day. He was jumping around like a little kid. Oh, let me get this, let me get that. So
That photo reminds me of like a classical painting of an artist's hands.
yeah,
You could swap
hmm
the digital camera out for an art
right.
brush or a
There
sculptor's
you go.
chisel. That's cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I thought he did a cool job. I know he had fun. And about the tattoo show, though.
Oh,
So I know he's into tattoo. I know you are too, but he said he's really into it. He spends
I,
time down there.
yeah.
Thinking about doing a street shooting thing there during that weekend.
Wait, so back up here. So there's a big tattoo convention in
Yeah,
Detroit coming up soon, or
March 6th to the 8th
really?
at the whole Rensen. Yep, it's taking up
Hmm.
the display of the Rensen. Yep.
I'm due for some new work, so.
Yeah, and I could only imagine the type of people that it'll bring too.
Oh, it'll definitely be. It'll be like a Comic Con type convention as far as
Oh, yeah, I
inspiration for
would
people to shoot.
definitely. I would think so for sure, for sure.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. So what else? What else do you got going?
I really don't have anything coming
Okay.
up anytime soon. I mean, I've got some things in the works that we'll talk about probably on
Yeah.
our next show, but nothing that I
hmm
really can talk about right now. So
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to jump in then
yeah,
and talk about. Of course, everyone I think knows that we're doing out of Chicago. That we'll be presenting there, and it's going to be a great workshop in June, at the last weekend in June. But right after that, starting on the 29th and the 30th, I'm actually having a Chicago street photography workshop that myself and Alana St. Laurent are planning, and we were able to reduce costs the last week by moving some of our instruction parts of that and not having to rent rooms. So we've got it down to only $149 for 2 days of instruction. We're going to go day to night the first day. We'll go out from 8 a.m. and probably get in at 10. And, we'll be just going all day long on the subways, on the L, hitting some of the hippest neighborhoods there are in Chicago. And then on the second day, we'll do some financial district. And these are weekdays, which is really different. When you get a weekday in Chicago, it's much different than your touristy, everybody's coming in from Michigan to check out Chicago time.
I think you'd get an actual real feel for what Chicago
Right.
is.
Right, and that's what we want to get on the business side that second day.
Mhm.
So check it out. We'll put a link to it in the show notes. If you got questions or whatever, give me a call. I'm trying to look at some other things I want to talk about. But I think the sharp thing is if you come in for the conference, plan a couple extra days there. It's in
Exactly.
June. It's not 10 degrees.
Right.
It'll be beautiful.
And the price of that is ridiculously low.
Yeah, $149, and we'll have a blast. And we had somebody sign up 2 nights ago coming from Minneapolis, a film shooter and workshop, and then I found a place to go process it on Monday night. When we're done, he's going to have it processed and digitized so he can put it into our final class slideshow on Tuesday.
Wow, that's
He's
super
into it.
cool.
He's into it. He only
Yeah.
shoots film.
Wow.
Only shoots film, and so I'm working on. I had recently picked up an Olympus OM1. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it retrofitted a little bit right now, make sure it's clean, let's say,
Yeah.
and ready to roll. And I know I'll be taking that out too. That'll be fun. Now he's inspired me. I said, all right, if you're doing it, I'm doing it. we
Super.
gotta try that. So yeah, you gotta check that out. And let's see, let's give a little tease about what might be going on. Just maybe there might be something coming from Mirrorless Minutes. Let's just say that. Maybe on the next show we'll have a little information for a workshop.
Okay, so you don't want to go into too much detail on that yet. You want to just tease it.
Well, let's tell them a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'll just mention what the concept is. How about we start with that?
That sounds good.
Okay, so everybody knows that Mike he's hardcore urban street shooter. I mean, he knows that in and out, and that's something that I'm not good at. So I'm always cool to hang out with Mike and learn that. And then anybody that follows me knows that I tend to be out wandering the countryside a little more than the city streets. I'm more like the country roads, I guess. So Mike and I have been doing a lot of thinking and brainstorming we want to get together and do a workshop that would be fun for people, and we want to play off of where our passions lie, because if you're teaching what you love, then I think you're going to teach really well. So we've kind of come up with this concept of doing, basically small town to downtown. We're going to start off either way. We're not sure yet whether it's going to be starting off in the city or in the country, but it's going to be a 2-day workshop, and we're going to be working from the country to the city or vice versa. So you'll get the opportunity to shoot everything from, gritty downtown urban settings, street shooting, interesting people, to countryside, rural settings, barns, rolling fields, wide expanses of sky and land. And I think it'll just be a really fun experience, because I honestly don't know of any workshops that I've come across yet that cover something like that. So we're hoping that it's something that will appeal to a lot of people. It'll get people the opportunity to, if you're a landscape shooter, it'll get you the opportunity to do that, and then also learn something about urban. Or if you're a street shooter, it'll give you a chance to do what you really are into, but then a chance to kind of work, outside of what you're used to, and get out into the country and kind of enjoy some of the natural settings. So
Yeah, and I think that's the cool part is, I think as a photographer or an artist, you should be trying to stretch your goals and what you're trying to do, and branch out a little bit, and try something new. So we'll go into Detroit and find we're not going urbexing. We're not going into abandoned buildings.
Let's put that out there right now.
Yeah. we're not doing that, but we've got some fantastic things that I can take everyone to, and it's going to be urban art. It's going to be urban landscape, and people will automatically flow into that. So let's tell them. We can for sure tell them the dates. Everybody can mark their calendars, and our details will be out soon enough. Hopefully within the next week here. But the dates are July 18th and 19th, Saturday and Sunday. And if you're in town, depending if you're traveling in or whatever, we'll get together probably that Friday night just before for a little meet and greet, and say hello if you're in. Nothing specific. We won't be doing any training there, but maybe sit down and have a drink and talk about photography. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we've got some really cool things planned that'll make your trip easier. All you'll have to do is come to one place. You won't have to be worrying about what if I get lost from the group. We've got some things we'll announce next time that you'll be able to look at and say, oh, geez, this is something for me.
Yeah, it'll probably be one of the easiest workshops you could possibly attend.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part for most people, I guess, is going to be just coming.
Right.
To the venue. Other than that, you're taken care of. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then what we should talk about is our next show. Actually, the next show I believe is the last. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I think it's the last time we're going to do it on Tuesday, without my calendar in front of me. But our next show is an interview show, and we're going to have Bill Booz on. Our great. He follows Mirrorless Minutes. He just a great instructor out of Virginia. And I think that all you have to do is go on, and you'll find him certainly on our Micro Four Thirds Enthusiast. You'll find him on Mirrorless Minutes posting. He does some great instructions with flash and single flash, and and I think the thing that's great about it is he wraps it all around his Olympus cameras and makes it a lot easier.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I know I've learned a whole bunch from just reading his tutorials. So I think it'll be exciting to have him on and talk about some of the things and how he came about from shooting Canon, I believe, and switching this whole arsenal to mirrorless, and now training it with the mirrorless too.
I think that's the incredible part, isn't that, it's one thing. It's so common now to hear stories of transition going from, whatever brand to a mirrorless Micro Four Thirds, especially the Olympus cameras, and to get somebody that's done it and loves it so much that now they're actually starting to teach other people about the system. I mean, that's phenomenal. Like, couldn't ask for a better ambassador for the brand, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But Yeah, I think that's it for me. I am out
And
of things to discuss.
and incredibly enough, I'm done too. And you know what? We have probably 30 seconds until we hit our 30-minute mark. So
All right.
I think we timed it out pretty well.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. You know, we had a good crowd viewing tonight live, which is always
Great.
exciting. It kind of motivates you to keep on talking. But
Hmm.
again, don't forget to swing over to the YouTube page, and there will be links to everything we discussed in this. The photographer who I mentioned as a source of inspiration, link to Mike's page where you can find out about his Chicago workshop that's going on after the Out of Chicago conference. And I'll have a link to where you can find my presets and Mike's presets on his page as well. So again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And again, the next show is an interview show, and that's going to be super cool. It's always great to have a good guest on. So
Yeah.
take care,
All
everybody.
right. See you soon.
Bye.